Watching Blood Vessel on Shudder by Justin Dix, I was I could say that I enjoyed it. I was introduced to this movie. This movie was brought to my attention by a YouTube ad for Shudder, the horror movie streaming site, and I had Shudder due to because there was a 1 month trial that I was a part of, and I saw this movie, so I thought I'd give it a chance because I want to watch more movies on Shudder because I do enjoy the horror genre a lot, but I do think that there's a lot of bad movies out there. Just a lot of bad movies. So I'm wanting better horror movies. So I gave this one a chance because the trailer got my attention, and it looked like it was going to be a fun kind of zombie Call of Duty, Nazi zombie kind of vibe to it, and it was and it wasn't. And these are my thoughts. The movie overall, I didn't expect much from it, to be honest. I was like, okay, it's a Shudder movie. Let's see how good it's going to be. But the movie looked, I didn't have high expectations for the movie, but I knew that the quality of the movie was going to be good because I can see like that there's money behind it, like the camera, the lighting, and all that stuff was good. And I was like, okay, so there's some money behind this movie, and so I had maybe slightly higher hopes than I was expecting. But it was still like fairly low. Like I expected like an F tier movie that I'm never gonna watch again, but enjoying it while I'm watching it, and that's kind of what I got. But it definitely could have been better. There's some places where I thought needed some work or whatever, but that's just, it's a Shudder movie, and I can't really say any much about that. Like I said before, I thought it was gonna be a zombie movie, but I was pleasantly surprised by the vampire twist. And then there was also some zombies in it, which was pretty fun, and I enjoyed that part. But overall, the movie was good. Good for what it was in context. But I definitely love the premise of it. This shipwreck happens, and these lone survivors are drift upon this Nazi vessel in the middle of the ocean, and some weird shit happens, and they need to escape. Vampires ensue, zombies ensue, disease ensues, and they need to escape. And I liked it. I liked the premise, but I think the writing was bad at some points. The acting was meh, and sometimes over the top at one specific scene. I think they were down into the boiler room, and what's his name? Lytle Jackson, I guess, the engineer. He just went over the top trying to be like, this is my kind of thing. And it was just like, it was so over the top, so overly dramatic that I was like, okay, this doesn't need to be here. In my opinion, could have been toned down, maybe taken a bit more lightheartedly, a bit more parody. Not saying that not all horror movies need to lack seriousness. Just, I don't know. It's this moment of seriousness just fell off, and it kind of like set a weird tone to that scene. But there was just like weird scenes, like towards the end when the female vampire was like mimicking the Australian guy's wife. It was just like it just felt weird. Just like the acting was just like so over the top, and I was like, okay, it's pulling me out of the movie. Like the acting needs to be all within a spectrum of things. It's like weird when some people are overacting, and others are underacting. But the movie is what it was, which is a weird but good movie. I definitely liked the aspect of the whole cast having different roles to play, but I think it was very squished, and I think the film was an hour and a half long or something. I think maybe if they made it 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, maybe flush out more of the characters, give them more time to breathe and whatnot, give them more of a role, Or it could have just been that there's just way too many characters in the first place, and that could be an honest thing too. I don't know. I'm always fine with more characters, but if you're gonna have all those characters, give them some information, give them some things, or make them a caricature of the player, the character that they're portraying. And so, okay, this guy's a Aussie, and he's good with a knife, and that's kind of what he was, and that was fine. But then when they gave him a wife, it was like, okay, this is weird. It's like that's the kind of like weirdness to it. It's like, yeah, maybe you could have hinted that he had a wife, like he had a thing, and maybe they did, but I was just I wasn't paying attention as close as I should have been. But it just felt like the cast was too big and the story was too big for the time that they had, and they could have really narrowed it in and cinched up some things, and maybe gotten rid of one or two characters, combined them with like merged two characters together, and that would have made the movie a little bit better, a little bit flowing, better flowing, and smoother. But it was good. I enjoyed that the characters had their differences and they had their roles. That was fun part. Like, but yeah, it was just so weird that not the doctor, what is it? The code breaker had this secret thing, and he's this nerdy guy's like, if I told you who I was, then we'd all be like in danger or something like that. It was just like, I don't really care about that guy. Like, even when he finally said, I'm a code breaker to like the Nazis are trying to get them to get his help, it was just like, okay. I didn't feel for him. There's no empathy for the character. There's not a lot of empathy for any of the characters because I didn't know them. It was just like they are thrust in the situation, and I was too, because the movie starts off them on a raft and it's like, okay, they've been here for a while. Yeah, it was just, it could, I think maybe another hour, maybe another 30 minutes, but that's a consequence of the horror film, horror genre, and everything wanting to be an hour and 30 minutes. Is just give that extra 30 minutes. Maybe give that a little bit more exposition, build up your characters more, so we can as an audience appreciate them more. But that didn't happen, and that's kind of what I expected, which was honestly probably why I enjoyed the movie more than I should have, because I knew that it wasn't going to be, nothing was going to be, there was going to be no exposition, but so I don't know. One thing I really liked about the movie was that the vampire twists. Like, I thought the little girl, I didn't know what exactly she was. I thought maybe she could have been like a survivor, maybe like a ghost, maybe something. Not a vampire though. But when it turned out that she was a vampire, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then the big bad vampire, I thought he had a cool design and cool abilities and cool history. How like the guy recognized the Romanian language, and he connected it back to like the fairy tales of his childhood. I thought all that was pretty cool and pretty interesting. And then what is it? But the powers of the big bad guy, when he like stabs you or something, or he does something to you, he gets to control your body, and he gets to like take over you. I think they have that in older vampire movies, but this was like the first time I've seen it, because I don't really like the vampire genre too much, because I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's always like, I don't know. It's just, I just haven't seen too many vampire movies, and they don't really attract me. My favorite vampire movie would probably be Van Helsing, and I wouldn't even consider that a vampire movie. I would consider that like a Monster Hunter movie. With Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman. That's probably my favorite vampire movie, just because it's like an action. It knows what it is. But let's get back to what movie is this? Let's get back to Blood Vessel. But yeah, so when he takes control of other people, and then he starts like fighting people, and that person has the superhuman strength that this vampire has. But then when you stab that person, the vampire gets hurt. And I thought that was a really nice like nerf or balance, for lack of a better word, to the vampire. So like you can actually hurt him, and he takes damage. So it's not like as overpowering. Yeah, he's able to get punished for using his power. Now that's something I enjoyed. And he wasn't so ungodly strong that he could bust down that door and fly and stuff like that. But he was, for the most part, confined to that one little room. And then when he wasn't really like jumping off the walls and going all like I don't know, underworld vampire where all these vampires are all superhuman powered and doing all this crazy, ridiculous like parkour shit. He was just more like tame back, and it was more. I don't know. I just liked it more than the super action one. Um, I didn't like the kind of like siren lure of of the of the female vampire, the child vampire. I thought that was a cool twist where she like impersonated the daughter, and the girl got like all emotional, like, "Oh, that's my daughter," in there. And obviously it's not, but is I think with more exposition on her and like more understanding on how she lost her daughter, I could have felt more sympathetic to her. But like watching it was just like, this girl's an idiot. That's obviously not your daughter. Just move on. Um, and then again with the last scene where the Australian guy has his wife, and it was just so weird. There's a lot of weird things like that, but then there's a lot of things that I enjoyed that were just so, I don't know, so nice. Like the guy locked into the vault room or whatever. How he shot, and he once he saw the girl, he didn't care. He was like, "I'm just gonna shoot everybody because this girl's the demon. This girl's the devil. I don't care if I die. These people just." He just killed everybody or started shooting, and I like that part. Like that part made sense to me. I don't know if you've seen my Queen's Gambit thing review, but I like movies that make sense. If the logic in the movie makes sense to me, then I can. It makes my appreciation for the movie go up a lot. And parts of this movie did have that logic that was nice to follow, and then other times it's just like, okay, I don't know what this is. There's definitely some gaps. Like after they burned the girl in the one room, and the blonde chick went over to cry, the other guy just kind of left her. Like, no, you grab her. You're only three survivors left. You grab all your survivors and move as a squad. And then it took so long to like meet up back with each other. It was, I don't know. It was so crazy. The map of the boat didn't make sense. Um, but that's like nitpicking at things that like it could have been better. But again, I didn't go into this movie expecting all these things to be perfect and ironed out and all this plan. I didn't have this, so I didn't care while watching it. But I definitely noticed and picked up on these things while watching it. And but I can say that because I wasn't expecting it, because I knew that I wasn't gonna get it, not because I wasn't expecting. I knew that it wasn't gonna happen. That I enjoyed it a lot more, and because of that, I think uh, I think it was a fun movie to watch, um, a fun bad movie. Overall, like I felt like it was just a big Call of Duty zombies movie, like Nazi zombies and stuff like that on a boat, and I like that premise, and that's what initially attracted me to the from the trailer, that this Call of Duty zombies vibe was going to go on, and then the vampire twist, and then the little bit of the zombie twist, the reverse twist for me. Um, Different cast, but again, the cast was too big and too wide. But another hour that would have been fine. But so overall, I think I'd say the movie is a 25 out of 100. That's like a really bad score, but it's a good 25. It's like if you know you're gonna get a 25,